Greetings, guys. It's Fancy again. So, we should be now streaming live to Facebook from the Cleaning Out Your Closet, a guide to achieving physical and mental fortitude event. And I kind of already went through the spiel about the event, but just for those, because we want to make certain you all know what it is that you're watching. Cleaning Out Your Closet, a guide to achieving physical and mental fortitude, is a virtual social gathering to network and shift into spring with a new mindset inspired by a lineup of guest speakers. This event will help viewers develop their spring plans to cultivate their mind, body, and spirit and act as a head to toe guide to empower women by women who have unleashed their potential. And for those who don't know, I am Fancy. I'm the publisher and editor in chief of Swagger Magazine. So I'll be coming on introducing all the lovely ladies that we have speaking this evening. But before we go into our speaker sessions, we'd first like to take a minute to acknowledge our vendors who took part in this event. So, vendors, if you all can raise your hands again. And Karen, okay, I got you. So I'm about to bring you back up, and we should be streaming live. Wait. Okay.
Well, hello and good evening, everyone. It is truly a great opportunity to be here, and I'm excited about being here. But my name is Karen Larkin. I am an interior designer, and I'm the owner and founder of Creative Creations by Karina's. And I help revive and restore women and their families by creating a unique tailored design that is a beautiful reflection of them and everyone that dwells in there. And my main goal is not only to just create a beautiful space, but a space that will promote peace, tranquility, and just actually a calm atmosphere for conducive for healing and personal growth. And by doing that, I create a space that will cultivate productivity, decrease stress and anxiety, and help promote the overall well-being by promoting healing, self-awareness, and self-confidence. I want to create spaces that allow women and their families to thrive and not just survive. And I am so excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Karen. And you and I talked in the networking lounge, and I just really love the concept of what you're doing. It's not just interior decorating; it's more of a transformation than that, and just how our spaces can impact our lives. So I really think that you are onto something. And again, thank you so much for having us. And also, where can they reach you?
I'm on pretty much all the social media platforms, and it is Creative Creations by Karina's. It's on Facebook, Instagram, on LinkedIn, and it's just Karina's on Twitter. They can email me or they can go to my website, which is carinasdesigns.com, if they want to send me an email or get in touch with me, or they can email me at carinasdesigns@gmail.com.
Okay, and I want to pull that up while we have you on. 1 second. Just 1 second. Oh,
And I'm sorry, creative is with a K. I'm sorry.
oh, really? Okay. Okay, y'all, 1 second. Just so y'all can see it while she is on screen. Um, and we know next time to already have this part together. It's something we're taking notes, y'all. But this is a beautiful platform to use. So, and okay, so you all can see that in live. Is it there? Is that right?
And just put an S on the end of the A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's it. Yes.
Okay. All right. And Angelica, if you can drop that in the link me in the chat for me one more time, we greatly appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead on and bring Kim on. But thank you again, Karen, for attending the event and being a vendor. And we
Thank
wish you all
you.
the best.
Thank you.
And let's see. All right. And then
hello. I'm so excited. I'm sorry I didn't have my camera on at first. That was
Girl, we're all learning this system, as y'all can see. Look, by our third event, we gonna be good though. We're gonna have everything together.
right. Good. I'll be here. I will be here.
But you could tell the audience, who you are and a little bit about Chi Bath and Body.
Well, I am Kim Cross. I am the Happy Skin formulator of Chi Bath and Body. And I formulate and handcraft goat milk skincare products and soy candles. The significance of my product line is that it's a natural brand. It's all formulated around my skin. I have problem skin, I have psoriasis, and all of my products are made with natural ingredients where you can get clean, get moisturized, you can smell fantastic, because that actually is important, and you can do all of that without irritation. That's the biggest thing is you can have honestly, it feels like a luxury skincare line at an affordable price without any sort of irritation. Everything is handcrafted by me. And that's it. I love what I do. I also make soy candles. My soy candles. 100% soy wax. Those as well are toxin free, so you don't have to worry about if you have breathing issues or things like that. You won't have to worry about the scratchy throats and feeling like you're having an allergic reaction to something, because it's 100% soy wax, no carcinogens in the air, nothing like that. And I have a room and linen spray that's natural as well, where you can spray away, and everything smells fantastic for a long time. But that's what I do. I also teach classes in the summer, soap making and candle making classes. And yeah, that is what Chi Bath and Body is, and that is what I do.
Okay. And y'all, that is Kim's website there, chibathandbody.com. And her Instagram is at Chi Bath and Body, right?
Yes, absolutely. On Facebook, I'm Chi BNB.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for attending, for saying yes, and just for all that you do. And also, guys, Kim is the back cover of our latest issue as well. If you all haven't checked it out, by the way.
Yes, please do. It's some fantastic reading in that magazine there. Oh, thank you, Fancy. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Okay, guys. So, of course, I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge our vendors because, of course, they help to make things like this possible. But our first guest speaker of the evening is Miss Marquita L. Sykes. And I just want to take a minute and kind of tell you all about who Marquita is. So just a brief bio about Marquita. Well, actually, I'm reading the bio, but still. The same way an ordinary caterpillar transforms and emerges as a beautiful butterfly from its cocoon, it's much similar to the way the CEO of Caterpillars to Butterflies Life Coaching, Marquita L. Sykes, has transformed her life. The certified master life coach has lived a hard life, from growing up in a dysfunctional family to escaping a violent marriage. But these hardships were preparing Marquita for the future work she would do, coaching survivors of intimate partner abuse and those who are battling with addiction. At Caterpillars to Butterflies Life Coaching, Marquita teaches her clients to shift their thinking, make better choices, and live happier, more fulfilling lives by pulling from her wisdom and resources and incorporating them into strategies. Established in 2018, the organization is driven by progressive ideas, bold actions, and a strong foundation of support. Their top priority is making sure they provide the highest quality service and that their customers are happy. Marquita aims to have a positive impact on society through her business and recently released her book, Rescue, which tells the story of her past and her breakthrough. The empowerment and personal development coach dedicated the book to all victims of abuse in hopes that it inspires individuals to free themselves. So now I'm going to be bringing Marquita to the stage. Marquita, can you raise your hand? Oh, actually, I don't even have to do that. Let's see.
Okay. I'll learn how to use Hello? Okay. It's muted.
My bad. You're on, but you're gonna be on by
No.
yourself. So I'm removing myself.
Oh, okay. So how is it questions answered or are we just
Uh,
I wanna make sure
well, you're supposed to be speaking on your segment. It was just you can
about my
yeah. Yeah,
okay.
from your experience, just cleaning out your closet.
Yes, okay. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So a little bit about me, like she said, development life coach. I definitely believe that the way you feel, the way you think, it conducts your day, right? Um, a lot of times we don't take enough into consideration when it comes to our thoughts and the thoughts that we have in our mind. And our mind is full of stuff all the time. From doing my personal research, I found out that you speak to yourself in approximately 5,000 words per minute in your head. And so with all those words and different things coming into your mind, you have no room for just depleted old junk. So my segment is I believe in a cleaning my closet. I don't carry old thoughts over. I try my very best to let old things go. And I try and again, it feel weird talking to myself, but I guess I'm just gonna go with it. Um, but the mindset is important. It's more important because the mind it kind of sets the stage for everything that you do. And that's why I feel like you need to take a personal accountability into your thoughts, how you set your day, what you plan on and what you think about, what you listen to, because all those things enter into here. And if it enter into here, you're going to produce that. And I definitely from some tips or some things I can leave with you because I don't know how long we're going to be talking, but definitely with some tips I want to leave with you. Definitely take time out to pray and meditate. Meditation is very important. I take about 30 minutes a day. I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning. I pray and I meditate and I journal. And that's way I feel like I am releasing old things. I'm releasing old thoughts. I'm not carrying and harboring anything in me that I feel like I haven't let go of. From a while before I actually came into the knowledge of how powerful the mindset is, I used to like harbor revenge and resentment and just hatred. And it just really led me down a road of destruction. And I always felt sick. I always felt angry. But when I came into the knowledge of how important it is to change your mindset, how important it is to work on your mindset, how important it is to clear things out of your mind that no longer suits you or serve a purpose, my life became free. And from that moment on, I don't allow anything to enter into my mindset or like the world would say, live it in my head rent free because nothing deserves that type of time. And so with spring, it comes spring cleaning. So I challenge you to change your thought routine. Listen to positive reinforcements, speak positive affirmations, reprogram your subconscious because that's who you really are. A lot of times we don't understand we do things and we try to program the conscious mind, but the subconscious is who you are. It's your core being. Listen to those positive affirmations. I make it my business. I only listen to certain things. I don't watch certain movies. I'm just really, really, really cautious when it comes to what I put inside of my head and what I allow to play inside of my head. So, with that being said, take time out every day for your mental space. Make sure that you are journaling, make sure that you are progressing in life and that you're not just repeating the same thing over and over and over, expecting a new result. Do mental exercises where sometimes for my mental exercise, like I said, I journal. Not only that, I read. I read, I research, I look up things, I educate myself because I want to fill my mind with things that's going to help me to progress in life. And I challenge you to do the same thing. You know, a lot of times when I was, speaking with my husband and I was telling him, when I was going through a very dark period in my life, when I was, going through an abusive relationship and I was going through, my drug addiction stage, I listened to a lot of unhealthy advice, a lot of unhealthy music. And a lot of times we don't really understand how our outside world and who we surround ourselves with uh, plays on I don't know what I just did. I don't know, I'm sorry, y'all. Plays on our mind, plays on our subconscious. And so I decided to surround myself as I transitioned out of rehab around more positive people. Check your friends, always evaluate your circle. Take that time out to do that. Take inventory of your life on a daily basis. When I go to bed at nighttime, I think about my day. I think about what I could have done better with my day. I think about what I want to do the next day, and I really command my day. And with that being said, that helps me to really structure my thought process is when I plan things out and I analyze how I handle certain situations in my life. So always take inventory of your life, of your friends, of your circle, of your circumstances. See how you can take those little moments to improve it. And once you think about it, execute it. Don't sit there and expect it to just happen. Once you think about it, you have to execute it. And that way you'll start cleaning out and cluttering out the gunk and a negative thinking and the negativity out your mind. Again, my website is Caterpillars to Butterflies Life Coaching Program. And I have my book, like she was saying, Rescued, My Story of Betrayal and Survival. It's a really good book. It's been selling really well. But again, this segment and this part of it, I really want you to really take your mindset very seriously and really to consider on just talking to a life coach. That also helped me, like getting into counseling, all those things. Mental health is the new wealth. Please understand that you will not be able to go anywhere in life if this head is not on right. So definitely some tips: journal, coaching, and mental health awareness. Just always making sure that you understand that you have the power to conduct and change your world by the way you think. And again, Fancy, I don't know how long we're supposed to be on here, how long we're supposed to talk, but I um I just want to make sure people understand that. And I don't know if we can show my book, but my book is available on Amazon. It's Rescued, My Story of Betrayal and Survival is available on Amazon, as well as it's a book that deals and tackles, the mindset. It has some things in here that you can journal in the inside. Myself, even though it's my book, I still took the time out to read the book and do the exercise and journal things and get things together because I understand the power of thoughts. And when we just feel like we can just live this life and just go about living life without taking accountability of ourselves, of our thoughts, of our environment, we fail ourselves. When I was just living life and I didn't plan out my day and my thoughts, I failed myself. And I don't want you to continue to go through life making, these New Year's resolutions without first getting this together. I mean, I talk to people all the time and I ask them, when is the last time you did a mind check? What are you thinking about? What are you watching? What are you taking in? And I noticed that when I watch certain things, it changes my thinking. Like around the holiday time, I used to watch a lot of horror movies and it used to make me paranoid and scared. So I don't watch certain things anymore. I'm really conscious and I'm really conscious about what I intake on the inside of me because it has the power to shift you. and to change you in a way that you may not want to. So again, journal, get you a coach, find somebody that you trust, that you can vent to, that you can share your thoughts with, because when you it's a way of brain dumping. It's a way of getting things out that you keep locked in. Especially in our community, we are taught or breeded from very, very young. Keep it to yourself, stuff it, keep going. Don't, and I don't want you to live life stuffing it. I want you to find someone that you can trust with your feelings and your thoughts, and just allow them to help you clear your mind by allowing you to talk and to just go forward, in your thinking. Again, this has been I'm really excited about being on here tonight and being able with you all. And if you want to contact me, you can find me on all my social media. It's on Instagram. You can find me on the Coach Marquita L Sykes. On my website, you can contact me on caterpillars, the number two, butterflies.com, as well as Coach Marquita L Sykes on my business page. I'm all over social media. If you just Google Marquita L Sykes, I promise you I'm going to pop up. Again, I really hope that this serve a purpose for someone, and you decide to just do mental exercises to dump out and to clean out your closet and unclog your mind.
Thank you so much, Marquita. And I'm sorry, I thought you were aware of how we were the event was fun, but you made it work. So thank you. uh, okay, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead on and go into the next speaker, who is Coach Beverly K. Johnson. And just a little bit about Coach Bev. Having been a Zumba instructor for years, Beverly K. Johnson knew her influence included more than fitness training when a candid conversation with an exercising client revealed that women in caretaker roles often forget about themselves. She named her new motivational fitness business Genesis Fitness because it signified a rebirth for the often forgotten woman, the divorcee, caretaker, and empty nester. The New York City Journal highlighted Beverly in 2022 for being in the top 30 female entrepreneurs to look out for. Beverly specializes in creating, educating, and implementing motivational wellness routines into the everyday woman's life. She has been featured in Sheen magazine for her article, Are You Sabotaging Your Wellness Journey? In this article, she uses her years of experience to educate readers in a relatable way so that they can get ahead of their own wellness journey. Gen Fit is a community of women who recognize the need to reclaim their lives and are emotionally ready to do the work with Beverly K. Johnson, a motivational life coach, fitness trainer, and girlfriend of authority. At Gen Fit, they believe self-care takes priority over caring for others because it is in caring for ourselves that we make the best caregivers. They believe that by helping women rediscover who they are after suffering a loss, they will be empowered to become their ideal selves, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So y'all can welcome to the stage Coach Bev.
There I am.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, everyone. And thank you all for tuning in tonight. As Fancy so graciously said, I am the owner of Genesis Fitness. And most people ask, how did I get here? And all of this stemmed from my own personal journey. And the journey of becoming who I am and where I am right now was suffering through my own tragedy, was suffering through my own significant emotional event where I went through a divorce. It was horrible on every level imaginable. And it left me in a space where I felt lost, I felt depleted, and really didn't know what avenue that I was going to go through to my next season in life. And I also paralleled it where I was in a space where I had one simple prayer in life where I asked God to allow me to be a blessing to women. And I always said that he had a sense of humor because I never imagined fitness was going to be the conduit that he allowed me to reach so many different people over the course of my career. And part of your wellness journey, I have to say, I found this quote today when I was walking and listening to one of my books. And it says, what would be the consequences in your life if you choose not to heal? What would be the consequences of your life if you choose not to acknowledge the ugly parts that you have been avoiding? Or you may not simply just not know how to address it because we don't always have the vocabulary for it. We don't have the vocabulary for saying that when I'm always stressed, I find myself always eating. That's called emotional eating. That means that we have some baggage that's creating some type of anxiety or any other emotion in our minds that we're acting out. And normally what ends up happening, we start this vicious cycle where you may have a weekend where you're binge eating and then you feel guilty. And then you make up your mind that because of your guilt, you're not going to go to the gym. And so your entry point to the gym is one not of taking control of your narrative and deciding that you're going to break generational curses and become the best person you were created to be. Instead, your entry point is now of guilt, is now of frustration, and sometimes it'll be because of shame. Now, as you can see, when you have two different entry points into your fitness and your wellness journey, you're going to have two totally different outcomes. And my goal over the last few years is to work to change your entry point into your wellness journey. That your entry point into your wellness journey is knowing that you have purpose, that you were placed on this earth to solve a problem. God knew that there's a problem on this earth that needs to be solved and gave you the resources and the capacity to do it. And in order to walk in that and fulfill that, you need to be as mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically sound as possible to handle your load. For me, that's what wellness is. It's not about you just going to the gym and getting on the treadmill, lifting weights, and then going home or sitting in the sauna. It's about having a complete overhaul and getting your mind, body, and spirit operating as one. And when you understand that you have a purpose to fulfill and you have to walk in it, that becomes a readiness to say, I need to be the best version of myself possible, because if I'm going to carry the load of being a mom, a caregiver, a provider, an aunt, whatever role, employee, business owner, whatever role that you have been assigned to, there's a weight that comes with it. And with that weight comes pressure. And if we aren't prepared to handle the weight and pressure of our assignments, our knees are going to buckle. And so my role as your coach is to prepare you as best as I can to handle the weights of the world, because we can't deny stress. We can't deny problems of the world. We can't deny that there's sometimes your money's going to get funny. So when those seasons happen, we need the tools as ready as possible to handle that attack. So when we get knocked down, we may have to catch our breath, but we can get back up. So I tell all of my clients, all of my prospective clients, that when you're starting your journey, you need a goal. We always see it on our affirmations. We always see it on Post-it notes. What's your why? Your why is going to be that thing that when your motivation falls, your discipline is going to kick in. Your why could be, I want to take my kids to Disneyland and I want to be in the best shape possible. And I need to break generational curses. We've never been able to do XYZ. So I want to be as physically fit as possible to run my race. And so when you figure out your why, when you decide that this is greater than me and I got little people watching me, that becomes that thing that gets you going. And when we figure out what your why is, then I'm able to work with you to craft a plan of how you operate in this world next. And so when we talk about what do I need to do, I encourage you not to make changes that are so sweeping that you get intimidated. that they are so sweeping where you don't know how you're going to sustain it. So I always say start with one thing, and let's keep the main thing the main thing. That if you've never been physically active before and you haven't been moving around, let's start with getting you up and moving for at least 30 minutes a day. And then let's introduce water. If you haven't drank a lot of water a day and you're used to drinking 1 glass, let's up it to 2. Then go to 3, because your gradual changes are going to be the ones that sustain you throughout. And then when you go there, it's like, okay, now let's tackle your eating. Oh, you say you're an emotional eater? Well, let's peel back the layers to find out what your triggers are. When do you find yourself becoming an emotional eater the most? I find myself becoming an emotional eater when I'm bored. Over the last 2 years, with us being inside, part of the pandemic, that is something that we all face. The boredom and the uncertainty that comes with being at home. And so it was natural for many of us to find comfort in food. Now you peel back the layer and say, well, what did I need comfort from? I needed comfort from the anxiety and uncertainty of what I'm facing. And that is a valid emotion. And when you're able to sit in that ugly, when you're able to sit in that hard emotion, sometimes you need to grieve. Sometimes you need to cry. Sometimes you just need to be upset. But in those moments where you're feeling that emotion, give yourself the grace and the permission to feel it. Because otherwise you'll turn it inward on yourself. And then it shows up as emotional eating. It shows up as binge watching something. It shows up in all your other habits. And then when it shows up that way, your entry point again into fitness is frustration. And so to take care of your body starts with mental preparation, then starts with the emotional and physical work, because whatever you're experiencing here in your head manifests throughout your body. If you are in a space of worry all the time, if you're in a space of heightened stress, your body, it shows up. It shows up in our eating habits. It shows up in our sleeping habits. It shows up in our decision making. So part of what I do as a health coach is to outline what your triggers may be. And when I say triggers, it's not always something that has to be catastrophic. It could be when you get off the phone with a coworker, you notice that your blood pressure goes up 0 to 100. And we may have to sit down and develop a strategy to keep your blood pressure level down. Or you may notice when you're getting ready to do something else, you're feeling anxious. And if you're always feeling anxious about certain things, that could potentially impact your digestive system. So when we're talking about the body, we're talking about all the things that impact you, not just what's going on around you, but sometimes what's going on in you as well. And so when I sit down and tell people that, your fitness journey is way bigger than your exercise, I get this look like, but how? Because everything that we touch, everybody that we're impacting, we feel it. And as we go through this journey in our life, we need to understand that when I've been called to a purpose, when I understand my why, and then I'm able to make sure that what I'm doing each day, that my steps in life match the actions and the goals that I have. And then in turn, that makes you show up differently. Now, all that to say, these are the steps that I use to reclaim my own narrative. These are the things that I did to reclaim my own life, because I realized that for many years I was numb. I avoided the process because, I didn't know there was a process. I did what we were supposed to: get up, go to work, go to bed, same thing every day. But I noticed something was missing. And that thing that was missing was me. That I didn't realize that I had to take ownership in my own journey. And that journey starts with deciding in my first step, what's my why? And my why was, I know I have a purpose to fulfill in this world. I have been blessed to have a dynamic business where I come in contact with so many amazing women. And part of that requires me to be mentally, emotionally, and physically sound so I can properly serve you. Because leadership, after all, is service. Being in business, we are serving somebody else. And when we are at our best, we're able to give our best. So when you're thinking about your fitness journey or your wellness journey, I don't want you to have to go into it feeling dreadful. I don't want you to ever look at it as a space of being miserable. I want you to look at it as I'm doing this because I've been given an assignment. The little people in my family are watching. The big people in my family are watching. Over the years, I've had family members that have been watching my journey, and I didn't even know it. So now when I go home for the holidays, I'll have my mom come in and say, we put turkey in the greens because we know you don't eat pork. It's like, well, thank you. But I never had to say it. I let my example shine. So if you're in a space where you don't feel like you are being seen or heard, you are being seen. And people are watching you on your journey. So just because you may not be receiving any comments, people are watching you. People are rooting for you. And even if you don't know me from anybody, I'm rooting for you. Because to make up your mind to be the best version of yourself isn't always easy. Because you're in this space, as our beautiful sister alluded to earlier with the caterpillar, you're going from what you used to know, and you're in this space of what you don't know because you're in your transition phase, ready to give birth to something new. So even though you don't know what you're becoming now because you've never been here, this isn't the time for you to abandon your goals. Because a caterpillar, you know that, you're familiar with it, and it's comfortable. But as you start this birthing phase and maturing into another season, even though you haven't been there, that's when many people in that space will give up because you don't know that space. And in fitness and on your wellness journey, you don't know step 3. But as your coach, it is my job to let you trust me, to hope that you trust me, to hold your hand in step 2, to get you to step 3. Don't fear the journey. Don't fear the process. You are in company with many great women. And as your coach, my job overall is to help you get unstuck and help unleash the power that's in you, because you don't realize that when we start working together, I see the greatness in you. I see the power in you. I see the beauty in you. I see the strength in you. And so in our journey, my job is to pull out what's already there and to trust that when we get there, you see it too. And that's all I have.
Greetings. Thank you so much, Coach Bev. We really enjoyed that. All right. And yeah, I love how you broke that down. Just incorporating the steps, but also taking it to a mental aspect of things and not just focusing on the fitness, which, I mean, you talked about how wellness is more than just the fitness and the working out, but the way you painted it was really beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. And it's part of it is that everybody says a person here, I need to go to the gym. And that's all we do. We go to the gym. We don't ever figure out, well, what am I going to do when I get to the gym? And why am I going to the gym? So these are things that I had to learn for myself over the years, that before I go, what am I really going to do?
Right. Okay. Well, thank you. And
thank you.
Let's see. And so, guys, I do still want to take a quick minute and run our commercial before I bring on our last speaker, Miss Micaela Thomas. So I just want to run this really quickly. It's about 40-some seconds long, just to let you guys know who we are, just, in case you're watching and unfamiliar. So we'll be back in just a minute.
And lifestyle publication for Black women who like to be real with themselves and in business. The magazine also offers public relations services and visibility coaching for Black women-led businesses, coaches, authors, and girl bosses so that they receive more exposure and grow their brands. To learn more about Swag Her magazine, please visit www.swagher.net. That's www.swagher.net. Check our swag. We're more than a mag.
All right. And our video is, well, our commercial is produced by Power Influence Radio. We're a sponsor of the radio station, but they're also one of our clients. So if you all are looking to get a commercial made and as well as looking into radio advertisement, you all can definitely check them out. And now I'll introduce our last speaker of the evening, Miss Micaela. Okay, it's going really slow. Okay, so Micaela L. Thomas is a wife, mother, first-time author, and powerful manifester. The author hopes to assist in advocating for the intentional healing of others through her own journey of self-awareness and manifestation. Affectionately known as K, Micaela was born to a single mother and loving family village. The Cleveland, Ohio native has always had a knack for writing. Whether it was poetry, plays, songs, books, or short stories, she could always utilize her imagination to keep her centered from the internal turmoil that brewed within. After eventually relocating to Columbus, Ohio, Micaela began discovering her various talents. The story of Micaela's life has been kept secret for the majority of her 33 years of existence. She has now decided to share her journey to encourage and better others who may be suffering in silence. Her first book, Stripped to My Truth, Unpacking Emotional Baggage, is both a tell-all and a guide through the eyes of another in getting out of your own way. It is a raw, unfiltered look into Micaela's life, from past to current, and showing others that it won't be all peaches and cream, but that there are ways to handle life's traumas without losing yourself in the process. Even if you lose yourself, Micaela shows you how to rediscover your true being and alter your thought process to manifest what you want in life. Micaela believes manifestation brings not only a willingness to help to help design your life to your specifications, but it also brings about peace and transformation. It's important because it keeps one accountable and intentional about the goals and realities placed before them. It also teaches one to be grateful for current circumstances, no matter how bleak they may seem. Co-captain of a large blended family, Micaela parents 6 biological children, 4 stepchildren, and 1 bonus child with her husband, Kendrick. Micaela is currently working on a documentary in her second book, which she is co-authoring with Kendrick. So now I'll be bringing Micaela to the stage. Go.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Micaela Thomas, your favorite author of Stripped to My Truth, Unpacking the Emotional Baggage. Welcome. So if you're here, then I know that that means you're ready to do some spring cleaning. Now, cleaning out your closet is very, very similar to unpacking your emotional baggage. And a lot of what helps us to get started with this cleanse and these refreshers and unpacking that baggage is realizing where we need to start. So it's been a very long winter, very long winter. And some of us have acquired quite the clutter and the mess of our emotional and mental headspace, myself included. So first things first, since we are in this season, you want to make your spiritual and mental health top priority. There are 6 things that I followed, came very much in handy, 6 things that I followed that can definitely help you do so. And I wanted to share those with you today. So the initial thing is that you want to disconnect with people in relationships that do not serve you. And it doesn't matter if these are family members, old friends, even work relationships that have kind of kept you in a place of stagnance. And sometimes that can be very hard. However, you want to kind of create your boundaries with these people and with these relationships that don't serve you. It's time to let go. A lot of times we find ourselves holding on to things for whatever reason. So we have to break down our whys as to why we think we should be holding on to these and kind of analyze those bit by bit to see what the purpose is of these relationships. Number 2, you want to reconnect with yourself, reconnect, with nature. The seasons the weather's changing. So whether that be engaging with the sunlight, you want to take a walk in the park, a nature trail, or simply just appreciating the sunrise, standing in the sunlight, you want to reconnect with yourself. You want to have, that moment to kind of woosah and release a lot of the stress and a lot of the things that have kind of kept us all uptight and kept us, in constant frustration. Number 3, definitely declutter your home. This is like one of the top things that has helped tremendously, because when you are constantly surrounded by clutter, you feel like you can't breathe, like you're suffocating, like you don't have space to just be. There's constantly something in your way. There's constantly something that you have to move. They're like roadblocks. They're obstacles that you have to overcome. So you want to declutter your home, declutter your space. Absolutely. There is absolutely nothing soothes the mind and spirit like a clean and decluttered home. Throw out everything that you don't need, and sage your space. Bring in that positive energy. Open up some windows. Play some good music. Maybe do a little shopping. My favorite place is Burlington and TJ Maxx. So, go grab a few things and kind of brighten up your space. Give yourself a little more comfort in your own home. A lot of, and number four, summer's right around the corner. And I promise you, it's not too late for your summer body. It's not. So start working on your physical, because a lot of what we do and a lot of what we endure mentally and emotionally shows through our physical as well, in addition to what we eat. So a lot of what we consume physically also reflects on our mental and spiritual health, and vice versa. You don't have to change all of your favorite foods. I know a lot of us like, the cookies and the Cinnabons, I'm guilty, but, finding that healthy alternative will definitely do the trick as well. Number 5, you want to clear your mind. On the daily, we have about 1 million, probably 1 billion thought processes going through our heads regarding our to-do list. As women, a lot of us, we like to multitask. We're thinking about, one thing, and then the next minute we're thinking about another. And whether that to-do list has to be with work, home life, our kids, our spouses, our business goals, stop. Just stop. In this season, it is time for you to pause. It is time for you to reorganize and undo the chaos. In the wintertime, we're indoors. So we kind of let things sit to the side. We just kind of take a break from it. We see it, but we're not acknowledging it because it's cold outside. We don't want to go outside. If we can handle it from home, from our laptops, from our phones, we would prefer to do so. But then once the weather breaks and we find ourselves overwhelmed with all of the things that we've put off over the winter. So that kind of causes a chaotic mental and spiritual reaction. When you're mentally on overload, you're spiritually on overload, because then you're frustrated, then you're stressed out, then you're under pressure, then you're, scrimmaging around to try to fix these things and to do these things, get them done or undo, the things that we didn't want to happen. And now we're finding ourselves in a place of being stuck. We're back to that place of stagnant. So that's not what we want. We want to be able to kind of ease through these processes. Absolutely. Shifting the atmosphere and clearing the chaos. Yes, ma'am. So we want to be able to get back organized. It's not always easy, and we're not always going to be consistent with organization. That's one untruth I don't want you to convince yourself of, that you always have to be organized, because that's not always going to happen. But you can reevaluate your chaos, and you can reevaluate what needs to be organized in your life so that you can make things easier for yourself. You want to reevaluate your priorities. Reevaluate your priorities from what's most important to what's least important. Don't try to take on the entire show. Everything that's on your plate is not meant for you to attack at once. You have to pace yourself and set boundaries within yourself to know what's too much, what's enough, and when to give yourself that break and say, okay, I've done this. Now I can move on to the next. Okay. And once you do that and you get your momentum going, do not allow procrastination to get comfortable in your spirit or in your psyche. And if you find that it is, break down your why. Why all of a sudden now am I back to procrastinating? I was on a good roll. Why am I back here? So we have to kind of break that cycle of starting and stopping. We want to break that cycle of really generational trauma, because that's a trauma to ourselves when we start and stop that way, or when we, are not allowing ourselves to pace. Okay. So definitely, always make sure that you're giving yourself time. Okay. Last but definitely not least, number 6, it is absolutely imperative that you incorporate self-care practices for the duration of the year. If you have not already incorporated self-care practices from the beginning of 2022, I strongly, strongly urge you to start doing so right now. Moving forward, it's just, you cannot keep pouring from an empty cup. It's not possible. You're running on fumes, and it's, your body can shut down on you, your spirit can shut down on you, your mental can shut down on you, and it's unpredictable. You just don't know when it's going to happen. So you cannot continue to run on empty. You cannot continue to pour from an empty cup. And if no one is helping you to refill that cup, or you're not refilling that cup, then you need to be willing to know when to stop and refill it yourself. Okay. And when you've done so, once you've refilled your cup, that will be a reminder to you to stop pouring into those same people and relationships who could not and would not nourish you in return. Okay? Nourishing and love, all of that is reciprocation. When you're cleaning out your closet this season, remember and analyze that goes along with disconnecting from those relationships that do not serve you. If you find that you are nourishing these relationships and you're not getting that reciprocation that you deserve, it's time to stop. That's part of what needs to go. Okay? This isn't just a spring cleaning. This isn't just a season where we can do these things and then move forward and then be back here again. But this is a deep spiritual cleaning and a guide to maintaining. So we're maintaining your peace. You're balancing your emotions. You're maintaining your organization. You're protecting your spiritual assets while releasing the liabilities. Okay. And those liabilities can be people. Those liabilities can be relationships. Those liabilities can even be a job that you really dislike. Okay. Those liabilities can be things that you are doing to yourself, things that are harmful to you. Okay. Those are the liabilities. So you want to and here's a practice that I actually tried myself. I was going through a very rough time. I just lost a few family members back to back, and I had to sit down and I had to figure out, what are my assets and what are my liabilities? How am I going to get back on track from this emotional standpoint where I am right now? Okay. I was going through sadness. I was frustrated. I was angry. I had so much going on, and it was taking me away from me. It was taking me away from the things that I love, the things that I wanted to do and that I needed to do for me. So I had to write down my assets and my liabilities. And I'm not talking in terms of just other people or other relationships. I mean, in terms of myself. What am I doing to myself that's keeping me, or where am I holding myself that's keeping me where I am? Because at the end of the day, it is no one else's responsibility. It's no one else's, fault as to why I'm here. Things may have happened, in my life that made me feel this way, but it's me that's keeping me here. So I had to take a piece of paper and a pen and sit down and figure out exactly, where can I restart? Okay, so if your list of liabilities is longer than your list of assets, then there are some things that need to change. And maybe in cleaning out your closet, maybe there are some things about yourself that you need to take out with the trash too. Okay, so there are some things that we have to change. There are some things that, we have to do over in order to get to where we want to be. Now, a lot of times that may be uncomfortable, but that's what this is about. It's about getting uncomfortable with being comfortable so that we can continue to make these changes and they be permanent. So the goal is to stay away from the red and stay in the green. All right. So I appreciate you all coming in tonight. I love you, love you, love you, love you always on purpose. And make sure that you guys keep unpacking that baggage. Okay. If you need to get in contact with me, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. And it's all, Strips of My Truth. You can also get to my website as well, www.micaelalthomas.com. You'll find my book there along with other merchandise as well as that sage and that smudge stick. So this is the season. You want to make sure you start bringing that positive energy into your home, into your life, and into your spiritual, okay?
Thank you so much. And I want to make certain I say it correctly this time. Micaela? I think
Micaela.
Say it one more time.
Micaela.
Micaela. No. I'm sorry. It's going to be a strong A. It is just like sticking with me. But thank you. I really I think your presentation was a great way to close out. Like you basically touched on all the other elements that we were just talking about, the mind, the body, but also the spirit, and just that you said a lot of things that stood out to me, but also that, you know, it's time to take out the trash. And I just really feel that like in my spirit right now. So thank you so much. And I'm certain that they also enjoyed those 6 tips as well. So I am going to go on and remove you from the stage. And I was trying to see if our last vendor was still here, Miss Teresa. Let me check one second, y'all. Okay, I'm not seeing her initials. Well, and we actually have gone over on our time a little, but again, thank all of the ladies for participating in this event this evening. And if you didn't get a chance to catch it from the beginning, of course, you can always watch the replay. We'll also be sharing this on our YouTube channel, which is Swagger Magazine, and then also at swagger.net. So you all can catch the replays there, as well as we'll be certain to include all contact information for all of the ladies in case you all would like to further connect with them. And for some reason, it was not allowing us to display the websites and their Instagrams on screen the way it normally does. So we do apologize for that. But again, thank you all for tuning in. This has been, you know, just a really, I think a good start, because spring started, I think, on the 20th of March. So we're not too deep into the season. And I know oftentimes people want to begin right at the beginning, but this is a good time like for us to adjust and just, you know, shift into that new beginning of things. So I wish you all the best. And thank you to all the vendors that came out and attended, and all of those who attended as well from the air meet perspective or that side of things, whereas we were also able to network on the back end. So next month we will be doing a mental health event. We haven't gotten it all together, but if anybody's interested, then of course sign up for our newsletter and we will keep you all abreast there. But thank you all for tuning in. Peace and blessings, and y'all have a great evening.